What's up, Jabroskis? In this episode of the Work Talk podcast, I talked to my cousin Mark, who works in sales. We talk about the different myths in sales and what it's like to be in sales. He talks about his experience. And then we talk about his personal background in different jobs and how he's got to where he's at. It's a good, fun chat. This is what we do on a Saturday night. It's like 11 p.m. We don't go out to the bars. We just do podcasts. Hashtag no life. Hashtag life. I don't know what it is, but here's the episode right now. Episode 14. My cousin Mark. Check it out. Yeah, man. It's Saturday night.
Happy to be here.
What better thing to do than to like do a podcast? Forget clubbing. Fuck the bars. We're over that.
Yeah, it's just hanging out with good people. Regardless, it's always going to be a good time when it's me and you.
Yeah, man. Hey, so tell myself and the listeners about your work.
So I work in sales, inside sales for a software as a service company, SaaS company, reputation.com. Yeah. What we do is we kind of help with online public relations for enterprise businesses, businesses like Enterprise, Kaiser Permanente, Sutter Health, Ford, GM, those type of companies. What we do is we aggregate all the free information, or as we like to call online, reputation sources like review management, things like that. And we put it in one place so the client has a better place to just look at all the reviews, be able to talk to everyone, and see things as they come in real time.
What does a typical day look like for you?
A lot of prospecting. There's a lot of cold calling. There's a lot of, building accounts to see who the correct person is to talk to. I talk anywhere from, assistants to operators to CMOs and CEOs of different companies, just to try and see what they're currently doing to keep their online reputation intact.
Yeah, I think it's an important service nowadays where everyone's image is online. Like, it's super important. And even if we're a company or not, even if we're a job seeker, it's important for us to have an image online too, like through LinkedIn. That's the stuff I preach all the time at my work when I'm working with college students. It's like, have a LinkedIn account, make sure you don't have anything online, like you drinking or fucking taking like a chugging beer with your ass kind of like video up on YouTube kind of thing.
Yes.
Which is what the new kids are doing nowadays, I heard.
Exactly. And people are hyper aware now. Like, people know that there's ways that you can find some dirt on people, and if you don't have a dirty reputation online, then, it makes employers more apt to want to hire you than, someone that does have those type of pictures online, or, that posts like shitbag posts that just bang on all their, CEOs and, the company that they work for and everything. You got to keep that stuff all in check,
What do you like most about the job?
For me, it's the freedom. Like, as there's it's quota involved in sales. So, as long as you hit quota, that's what you really need to do. But other than that, it's pretty much work at your own pace. You're not micromanaged. It's kind of like you make money or you don't. And that's one of the things that I think is really cool about sales, is the fact that you're willing to bet on your performance. Your paycheck is based on your performance, and your quality of life is based on how hard you work. They do a lot of good things for salespeople. Like, you get flown out different trips, for trainings.
That's right. Like that. That's right. You went to Phoenix, right?
Yeah, we go to Phoenix like at least twice a year. It's the hottest place I've ever been. Just dry heat. Like, if you were to imagine what hell is like, it's Phoenix, Arizona in the summer.
There's some dude from Phoenix listening to this, like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Your town sucks.
See you.
Your town sucks, though. Like, no, it's actually a really cool place. Like, there's a lot of nice nightlife. It's nice other than the fact that it's hell.
Yeah.
Like, there's good restaurants. There's cool places to drink. It's a party town, like Scottsdale and Phoenix area.
And I used to work in sales too, so I could see the benefits of it. And there is a lot of benefits. And I think it's tough as fuck, but it's one of the best skills to have, I think, is sales. Knowing how to talk to people, knowing how to handle rejection, knowing how to kind of like keep persisting on.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's every day is definitely a character builder. You know, it's understanding and compartmentalizing that all of your interactions are not necessarily how they necessarily feel about you. It's maybe just the way you approach the situation. Like there's always a different way to approach. That's why you do all kinds of different ways of outreach. You don't only just call. You also do LinkedIn connects. You also do um, uh, what else? Emails. You
Yeah.
do campaigns. You do things like that to get your company's name out there, and that's how they start to understand what you do. And maybe the messages that you've sent before don't resonate at the moment. You know what I mean? But it's like asking for coffee.
Mm.
Like you just keep on asking for coffee. So sooner or later, somebody's gonna be thirsty. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
yeah, yeah.
as long as you just keep allowing, that's one of the biggest things about sales. It's like not taking, just handling rejection and just brushing off your shoulder.
Right. Out of 10 people, at least one or two of them is gonna it's gonna be for them.
Absolutely, it's a number game. But at the same time, with the SaaS industry, um, software as a service is one of those things where you got to make it happen because sometimes they don't understand what the importance is of what you're offering or why they need that in their company or why it's something that's important to upkeep because it's still a new age and people don't understand that this is the new word of mouth advertising. This is the way people choose who they want to go to next. Like you're going to be way more apt to go to a restaurant that has 5 stars than one that has 2.5. So star ratings, reviews, and the content that you post on like social media and things like that. That's huge for enterprise businesses.
Right. So I work with a bunch of college students, and some of them see sales, and one of the things they like about it is the fact that, oh, you can make a lot of money. Is that you think
Yeah.
that's true?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's you treat it as your own business. Like you can uh, rest easy and just hit quota, or you can um, hit quota and then some. You could be top performer. You can be whatever you want to do in your field as a salesperson. That's up to you. It's your prerogative. And the thing is when I got into sales, um, I told the person that was interviewing me. Um, why should I choose you? Why are you the person that's the right fit for this sales job? Because at the time I was doing operations at reputation.com. And I told them
Mm-hmm,
pretty
mm-hmm.
much like, look, I know that I'm a hard worker and I'm willing to bet my salary on my performance. So those are one of the big things that people like to hear. They like to hear that you're willing to earn what you work for. That's the biggest thing in sales. If you want to make a lot of money, you have the access to make a lot of money, but you have to put in the work for it.
Yeah. Another thing some of my students say is, "Oh, but I'm not good at talking."
Well, it's a skill that you're gonna learn. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if you're not as good at talking, do it a million times. You'll get better at talking.
Yeah. I think that's
Like
like a skill to just be good at, even if you're not in sales.
yeah,
That the whole
and
shyness, and sometimes if you're not super extroverted, I tell them that's fine. You could be more of a listener. I think it's okay to
exactly.
be kind of a quiet person, but if you're shy, meaning you're scared to talk to people, that's something you could overcome. But if your style is more calm and chill, that's totally fine. You don't have to be super extroverted or super talkative.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I know salespeople that don't talk like fast, and that's like every time you think of a salesperson, you think of a fast talker,
Yeah,
someone
Wolf of
that's
Wall Street.
just smooth with it.
Yes.
Exactly, but it's personality. It's different for everyone. Like there's a salesperson that I know that talks really slow and deliberate, but you know exactly what he's talking about. It's all in cadence. You know
Dude,
what I
that was
mean? And
hella
you
soothing,
resonate
man.
with different people. Yeah, exactly. So it's like when you talk to people, you kind of have to feel that vibe. You have
Mm,
to speak to what resonates with them. Like you can't talk to people in the healthcare industry as you talk to people in the real estate industry.
right,
You
right,
can't talk to
right.
the people in real estate industry and to the restaurant industry. Like you talk to them all different. You have to see what resonates with them? What's more important to them? Because with healthcare, they'll maybe think about surveys and their business listing accuracy. Things like that would resonate with them more. Whereas restaurants, their review management would be probably the most important thing, because they don't want to see 1 star. This restaurant sucks. I have shitty,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, I had a shitty server. The food tasted cold. Those are the type of things that need to stay on top of. And on top of that, you have to be, as a business, you have to be able to respond to those negative reviews, because I forget the percentage, but there's a percentage linked with when people from restaurants that are from the restaurant, if they respond to negative content, it makes people more at ease, because they know that the restaurants are listening to them. They're
Yeah,
listening to the needs of the customer,
right.
and they're actively working on ways to improve.
Yeah, that's how I
But
feel like when I see on Yelp, even though there's a bad review, if they're responding and trying to show that they listen, I'm like, okay, it gives me a little bit more of a reason to give that restaurant a chance.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So it's a really interesting thing every day.
Yeah.
You talk to different people. It's a mixed bag. Some days you just get shitted on all day, but but it's nothing personal. You know what I mean? It's just
Just business.
um,
Yeah.
exactly, it's business, and maybe they were going through a rough day before you called. Maybe
Mm.
all kinds of crazy stuff was going on in their life, and they just couldn't deal with it right now. So I don't ever take it to heart, but you just got to keep on with your persistence, and you just keep on calling, and making your touches through via email or LinkedIn or things
Hmm.
like that. Those are the best way to keep in contact.
Yeah, just constantly improve and just do your thing. Don't take it too personally.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
All right, I have now. Here's the other question. Some students tell me, I don't like selling something I don't like. Have you? What do you think
Well,
about people who talk about that with sales, where you're trying to sell something you don't believe in?
absolutely. That's kind of that's kind of your prerogative, though. If you
Mm-hmm.
want to
Mm-hmm.
be in that career anyways, you know what I mean? Like, that's not something you should do. Like, me from forever, so
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
that I always follow my true north. You know what I mean? Whatever I was into or whatever I wanted to learn, that's what you should go for. Like, you shouldn't do shit that it dims your light. Like, if you're selling stuff that you don't agree with, if you don't agree with the product, if you don't think anything resonates with you, then go look for something else that
yeah.
maybe you will
Right,
enjoy
right.
selling. You know what I mean? Because that seeps into everything. Like, if you're waking up dreading every day going to a job that you don't enjoy working for, or you don't enjoy selling, or you don't believe in the product, then what are you doing with your life anyways? Like, you're
Mm-hmm.
you're
Mm-hmm.
selling yourself off for somebody else's dream. You know what I mean? Like, it all depends on what you enjoy in life. Like, I'm fortunate enough to have a job that it's pretty much work that I can do whenever I want. You know what I mean? It's
Mm-hmm.
pretty much work
Mm-hmm.
that works around my lifestyle, and it doesn't hinder what I want to do in life. And at the same time, I think this is really groundbreaking stuff. Like, sooner or later, this is the way people figure out what restaurants they
Mm.
go to all the time. Like, you don't look at yellow pages anymore. You don't look at print review like in newspapers or anything like that. It's all online, and everything's digital now. And this is like the new frontier. Like, a lot of this advertising and word of mouth
Yeah,
advertising
yeah.
it's a new thing.
Like for you, you got that good mix of something that you see it's needed, and it also provides that flexibility in your life to have the work life balance, to have the income to support whatever living standards you want. And, and when I say for all those students who don't like, I don't want to do sales if I don't believe in it. I agree with you. Like, okay, find something that you believe in, but no matter what field you go into, I believe this that any job you do, even if you're not in sales, you're selling something. Like I work in education, but I'm selling something because sales is just it's just a form of communication.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. Like, you're selling yourself to different people when you meet them. Like, it's all how you approach things. Like,
Yeah,
sales
yeah. It's
isn't
how you
just
approach things.
just
Yeah.
yeah, it's not just the transference of money. It's the way that you present, the way that you show who you are as a person, the way that like, when you meet new people, that's still you selling yourself. Look, I'm not a shitbag person. Hi. fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're still selling yourself whenever you meet someone new. Like it sales isn't everything. It's like you said, part of communication. So I think yeah, it's a huge skill for anyone to learn. And if maybe you don't like it, maybe you do. It's not for everyone, but I do think that like me and you, we've gone through the door to door sales and we've gone through a lot of the cold calling, and it's one of those things that you're either going to get used to and develop a tough skin, or you're going to find out that maybe it's not for you. But at least you tried. You know what I
Yep.
mean? At least
I
you
agree.
understand that what it takes.
I
So
agree. And so listeners, if you don't know some of my background, I used to do like sales and marketing, and I think it was the best skill. It was the best fucking shitstorm I could experience because it allowed me to. It really taught me to kind of have a understand the importance of self confidence in myself and giving zero fucks what other people think. And I highly suggest people to experience it. That's why I love seeing, like, when I'm on BART and I see like girls selling Girl Scout cookies and I see them
yeah,
getting rejections, and then one of them is just like they keep going. She's really like showing her energy, and I'll like, you know what, I'm gonna buy from you. And I could see she's like,
yeah.
it builds her confidence. But I'm like, man, if I have a kid, I'm definitely gonna have them experience that, because I think once they have that, their confidence skyrockets, and then everything, all the other doors in their life opens up too.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I was with Jen and the kids last week or two ago. We were watching the new Avengers, and
Yes,
at the
yes.
Century, yeah,
Spoiler alert, guys.
yes.
Just kidding.
But
Just
anyways,
kidding.
at the new Century, there was like I guess a movie pass. That's like the new membership program they have or
Hmm.
whatever.
Hmm.
And I always get a kick out of seeing people try and sell you stuff, because this is what I do. You know what I mean? I want to see how you communicate with me. So I ask questions. I'm like, so what's the difference between getting movie pass or one of those other ones
Okay,
online
yeah,
where you
you
can
challenge, you fuck with them a little bit.
yeah,
Yeah, you're testing
yeah.
them.
And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just testing them. I
Let's
just want to
spar.
see
Let's
how they
spar.
sound.
Let's verbal
You
spar.
exactly. And at the same time, it's like you see who's made for that and who's not. Like, because a lot of time those two kids, they're like 16 years old, that just don't know what they're doing there. Their manager was told, their manager just told them to, stand right here, try and sell these,
Hmm.
but they don't really tell them how. So, I mean, it's really interesting to see people try and, push that conversation and the benefits, the pros and cons. Also, comparing between different products. It's pretty interesting to see like young kids that just have it. Like
Yeah,
one of the kids
yeah.
there was like, he was selling me well, and I was like, oh, I'm impressed. You
Did
know
you
what you're
did you
talking
buy? Did
about.
you buy?
No, I didn't, because I wasn't gonna buy it in the first place. I just wanted to see how his sales technique was, but
Yeah, I
it was
think
fun.
I
It's
think a lot of
fun.
times with sales too, it's yeah, you're being good at communication, but sometimes it's finding the people who are trying to find you. That's why the numbers game is really important also.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the numbers game. It's finding the diamond in the rough, because there's a lot of rough. But as long as you keep on digging, sooner or later, like I said, it's like asking for coffee.
Right,
Someone's gonna want
right.
coffee. Someone's feeding for coffee. So as long as you're out there reaching out, that's one way of getting to your numbers.
Yeah. Hey, do you guys like celebrate every time you make a sale? Then you like ring a bell and have a party.
No, not necessarily, but there's huge accounts. When we have like six-figure accounts that get in, yeah, we're gonna go to the bar and we're gonna get drunk. That's usually
Celebrate
what
the
happens.
wins. Yeah,
Yeah, if there's like six-figure accounts that come in, you're definitely gonna go to like dinner or lunch or something, and
yeah.
we're all gonna celebrate
Have a good time.
things like that.
Drink responsibly.
Yeah, yeah, or irresponsibly, but kind of responsible. Yeah, yeah.
So
So I mean, it's all fun.
yeah. All right. So talking about you, how did you end up in this like career or job path?
So I mean, like you said, when we were younger, we've been doing this. Like we've
Hmm. Hmm.
we've done the prospecting, we've done the whole cold call and things like that. And for me, I've always felt like if I talk long enough, I can get my point across. So if my thing was, if I got into this job, I can make this work. Like if I got into a position where I could use my mouthpiece to choose my paycheck. That's the hugest thing for me. Um, and being able to, like have the life that I want, being able to afford the things that I want, and also, be able to um, work as hard or less, on
Mm-hmm.
different days.
Mm-hmm.
Because life gets in the way sometimes, and some days people are just going through the motions and just going to work. When I don't want to go to work, I'll stay at home and work from home and just do stuff over here. Like
That's
make calls over
nice.
here.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a good balance. That's the biggest thing for me. You got to find the balance for yourself. You know what you can
Mm-hmm.
handle. You know
Mm-hmm.
you can work as hard as you want, and you know when you're at your breaking point too. The good thing is being able to be self-aware and being
Yeah.
able to
Dude, I was just
know,
about to
like,
say that. I was just about to say it
yeah,
all comes out to your self awareness. Like you find out what you want. What is your ambition? How much does it cost? Is it just have a job and then go home and take care of your family? Is it you wanna I don't know, you wanna like be a fashion designer and then it might need you to work 80 hours a week, but that's like what you really want to be happy. Like figure out whatever that cost is and then pay the fuck up, right? Like work that hard.
yes,
But it's the self awareness. Where do you want to be? And then just go there.
yeah, and it's different at different times of life.
Oh
Like,
yeah, that's true.
um,
That's true.
I've at different times of life, you want different things. Like when I was 18, 19, I was doing all kinds of different stuff that I don't do anymore. When I was 23, 24, like your lifestyle is drastically different from 18, 19. And when you're at my
I
age
know,
now,
I know.
30s,
23,
when you're at
24. We
30s,
wouldn't be doing this on a Saturday night. We'd
exactly,
be at
like we'd
Talassa
be
in
getting
Berkeley.
18, yeah, 18 years old, we'd be doing some dumb shit. And then 23, 24, we'd be at Talassa, Berkeley, getting shit faced drunk, breakdancing on the sidewalk with bums. So there's stuff that you do at different points of life. Like,
Yeah.
there was a time when when I was bartending. There was a time when I was bouncing. There was a time, and it's following your true north. It's following what you want to do at that moment. If you're not self-aware and you don't, even if you don't know what you want to do and you just got to do something, just go and do it. Like,
Yep.
I didn't
Yeah.
know I would ever be into bartending. I didn't know I'd ever want to bounce. I didn't know I ever wanted to do massage therapy or fight, or what I mean.
Yeah.
But whenever anything enticed me, I was gonna go out there and try it. You know what I mean? Like, I want to live the life where I did what I wanted to try. I went after whatever goals that I had, because everyone should have goals like that. And when you see things that are like, "Ooh, that's cool. I'd like to learn that." Go learn it.
Yeah.
Just go after things. Be a go-getter. Be active in your self-growth, because if you ain't trying to grow yourself, nobody's going to grow you for you.
Yeah. And yeah, you mentioned all those different jobs. And I mean, yeah, you had all those different things. And then whenever you weren't happy, then just make a change. Just pivot, change from there. And sometimes the transition could be hard as fuck. Sometimes it could be hard
Yeah.
being unemployed and going through that. But that's the whole part of life. You just got to fight for that next stage of what you want and not be
Yeah,
afraid to make that change.
one foot in front of the other. Nobody
Yeah.
knows exactly where they're headed. It's just, you have, a game plan, or what you want to do. Go for it. One foot in front of the other. Doesn't matter if you go at a snail's pace, as long as you're moving forward. As long as you're making the growth to go towards what you're doing, you should be going for it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what are you doing in this life anyways?
Yeah.
But it's different for everyone. You got to figure out what you want for yourself. Like, somebody may just want a family, somebody may just want, to find a sugar mama, and that's the rest of their
I
life.
know I'm
What I mean?
trying,
It's
man.
different. Yeah, it's different for everyone. It's different for everyone. So, I mean, it's not to knock on anyone. It's just, if you're not happy with what you're doing, then do something about it. If like you're in a job that
Yeah.
feels like dead end, or if you're in a job that it's not fulfilling and you don't believe in the product, uh, find something that you do believe
Yeah.
in.
Hey,
Like,
I was gonna say sorry, and sorry, I kind of cut you on your
yeah,
rant,
no
and I know
worries.
you're preaching. I was getting goosebumps. But when you mentioned the bartender, massage therapist thing, it's easy for me to be like, "Oh yeah, yeah," because I know you and I know you. But then I'm thinking about like if the listener is like, "Wait, hold up, bartending, massage therapist, fighting,"
Yeah,
and I wanted to kind of just
yeah,
pause to see if you could visit that. If you could tell them like, just tell the listeners kind of like the different jobs you had and how you moved from point to point, giving us a Cliff Notes version of it
yeah.
all.
So, I mean, I had no idea what I was doing coming out of school and everything. It's just, I've been working ever since I was 15.
Yep.
So
Yep, that's true.
once I figured that I wanted to do something, I went and tried it. Like, if I saw the movie Cocktail, wanted to do some bartending, and I wanted to
That's how
do
you
some
got. That's
flair
how you got
bartending.
inspired to go to the
Yeah, I
bartending.
mean, it's pretty badass. It's
It
pretty badass.
was, yeah.
Throwing bottles around and shit. That was pretty cool to me.
And I think it's
And
just a
then
lifestyle we had. Like we liked going out to
yeah,
bars
and
and stuff.
I was
So
a raging alcoholic at the time, so I mean, it all worked hand in hand. My hobbies collided, so there was that. Um, I've always
hobbies, career collided. Bartender.
yeah. So I mean, like with fighting, I've I've been like a knucklehead my entire life, and um, ever since I can remember, like since we were kids, like I've been getting into fights and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of like how Rampage Jackson said, is like, you mean I could, get into fights with people and not go to jail? That's kind of what kind of drew me into it. It's like I
Yeah.
also like I wanted to learn, different kinds of martial arts, and I've pretty much been a lifelong martial artist my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's just
And
a
that's the
way to
picture
test yourself,
I
I
had
guess.
posted up on you on Instagram. I think someone was like, "Oh, he's in sales, but he's like fighting." I'm like, "Yeah, it's kind of like two loves he's
Yeah,
got." Yeah,
yeah,
but fighting
and
is a
it's
big
it's
part of
it's
you.
something that
Like whether it's the thing you did for work, like when you're coaching, but also just even outside of work, it's a big part of your life.
yeah, and I mean the proper balance in life is like health, wealth, and relationships. Find something that can keep you healthy. Find something that keep you wealthy, and find something that keeps your relationships close.
Mm.
Those are the three things those are the three things that I like to do. For me, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, fighting in general. It's like what better way to get in shape is than to punch people in the face and have them punch you in the face. It makes you feel the most alive than anything else. Like running's good, yeah, but I mean, it doesn't get you in that oh shit mode.
Yeah,
I'm gonna die. Like you
that's
don't
true.
you don't face that, and it's like quick decision making, like problem solving on spot.
Yeah.
That's what I always think of
Yeah,
fighting.
even
Like
when you're
it's
training
like
us for fun and we were sparring, yeah, there's something about getting hit in the face and hitting the other person in the face too. That's like, whoa, it's kind of primal, but it really shocks your nervous system. There's something about it. It's fun too. It's really fun because
yeah,
in the end we both respect each other. We're both not trying to like kill each other, but we're trying to just learn this art and we're using each other to get better.
yeah, absolutely. That's the coolest thing about it is that you also you wouldn't expect that you get camaraderie from punching people into the face, but you get closer with people just by going through those wars and going through those tough times where you're
Yeah,
trying to knock my head off, I'm trying to knock your head off, but we're still alive afterwards. Like that's it's an experience that you come with,
yeah,
and like people don't ever feel that. So
yeah. So talking about
it's pretty cool.
talking about careers, let me bring it back there. So you did the bartending, and then you were doing like coaching,
Yeah.
and then
I was coaching out at Knuckle Up Training Center in Vallejo. Um,
Vallejo.
yeah, that was a fun time. I mean, my whole thing was the relationships that I got from there. All of the people that came and trained with me, all the people that I see now that are doing big things and have taken the art and made it their own, and also are teaching themselves now. Like that's the coolest thing to me. It's like you want to be immortal, this is a way for you to be immortal. The stuff that you
Mm-hmm.
pass down on and on and on, there's generations to this. That's the coolest thing, that I have one of my best friend's kids that learned under me, like some of my good friends learned under me, and the type of people that I've met along the way. It's like probably the
Yeah,
coolest stuff.
yeah. I can really sense, and I know you did that. Then you did massage therapy, and then you got into sales. But I know fighting is like a big passion of yours, as we could tell in the background with all the Muay Thai
Yeah.
shorts. Do you feel like the fighting will ever be will ever be like mainly just a hobby, or do you think it'll ever mix in and become a vocational thing where it's a career or a side thing?
I mean, it's always going to be part of my life one way or the other. If I could find a way to monetize having a gym, like that's the hardest part. It's just owning and maintaining that and having the business savvy to keep it going.
Yeah,
It's
and the self
That's a tough
awareness to
thing.
see if you really want to take it there, or do you want to just
Yeah.
keep it as a hobby?
Yeah, and I mean, I do it for the love anyways. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you ask anyone that's ever known me, like if you wanted to learn some Muay Thai, if you want to learn some jiu-jitsu or anything, like I'm always down to train with you and to show you what I know. And I've never asked for money from it really. So
Yeah.
it's like, it's
It's a
always, if you
pure
want to
love.
work out, you want to work out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pure passion project, just for the love of it. Yeah.
Yeah. absolutely. So,
And,
I mean, that's one of the things that keep me really happy. Like, training and seeing that growth in people, and seeing the personality change too. Like, I know people that are like super shy when they first step into the gym, and then learn how to punch people in the face a little bit. You get a little more confident. Like
yeah,
you know
yeah.
that other people can't fight like you can. So um, I think that's really cool, and giving someone a gift of learning something. It's like that's something that it's priceless. You know what I mean? They'll always have that skill with them.
Yeah, I wonder if
So
this kind of marries it too, the whole fighting aspect and sales aspect, how it's kind of similar. It's the grind of keep
yeah,
going.
yeah, and exactly. That's one of the things that I think um, they share at each other. It's like sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail. You never know, if you're gonna have a great day or a bad day, but either way, you're gonna keep doing it.
Damn,
Like
I like that
sometimes,
one. Hammer the nail.
yeah. So
I'm stealing it.
that's one of the things that you can connect with those two. Um, yeah, some days you're just killing it, and some days you're not. But either way, as long as you keep keeping that foot one in front of the other and keep moving forward, get 1% better every day. Sooner or later, you're going to be looking at the person back then, and
Yeah,
they're nowhere near where you're
you're a
at now.
beast. That's nice. All right,
Yeah.
man. And on that note, super motivational, by the way. I got a lot of good sound bites. I'll chunk up into little Instagram posts. But on that note, man, I appreciate your time and just talking about what you do, talking about just life in general, where work plays into that, and just chopping it up on a Saturday night. This is what people in their 30s do.
Yeah. Old people.
Hell yeah.
Pow!
All right, listeners, thank you so much for your time. Hopefully, you got some insight about what it is like to be in sales. Maybe I brought up some things around, some myths people have based off my experience as a college career counselor and talking to students about sales. But if you ever want to reach out to Mark, you can feel free to check out his Instagram. I'm going to go ahead and link it in the show notes. And that's it, guys. You guys have a good one. Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, guys.